Hi, tonight we just wanted to talk about something that you see at the grocery store a lot. And not only at the grocery store, but also on seeds and lots of other different places. And so that is the label GMO and non GMO, and also the label organic. And so, what is the deal with all of this? You know that when you go to the grocery store and you see things that are labeled organic, they're usually more expensive, and there is a reason why they're more expensive. And so we're going to kind of talk about why, and is it really worth it to buy organic? Maybe there's some things that you would want to buy organic, hi Keith, and some things that it doesn't matter. And what is the difference in the label non-GMO and organic? Some things you will even see are labeled as non-GMO only, where there will be other things that are labeled non-GMO and organic. And so all of this can be very confusing. Then you also sometimes see foods labeled as natural. So what does all this mean? And this is something that we've kind of delved into a good bit lately. And hi Krista, and we have decided to start purchasing more organic things. We don't do everything organic, but we're trying to move that direction as much as we can, because there are some real health benefits to that. And so I call Joe my science guy, because he loves the science behind all of this stuff and can really just, I think, talk about it a lot better than I can. So,
all right, I'll give it a shot. Hey, Helen. GMO, non-GMO, organic, non-organic, these are conventional. You pick your poison. These are like really hot button topics for a lot of people. Even if they don't know exactly what's going on, they still are very passionate about what they think they know about whether something is good or not good for you. You know, you have the 13 dirty dozen, or the dirty dozen, I think they call it, or something like that. That you, if you have to pick and choose, you buy them organic if that's all you can do. So let's talk a little bit about what the difference is, and I'm going to leave conventional out because I'm really, for most people, conventional is just not a big deal for them. So the organic versus the non-organic. In order to be able to apply the organic seal on your product, you basically have to buy a license, and in order to be able to substantiate your product is organic, you have to follow certain practices. And there are different levels of organic. For, in our backyard here, we claim basically that we're growing organic. We do not use any pesticides or fertilizers that are not labeled organic. As a matter of fact, we have one right here. This is called Nature's Cure. This is our slug and snail control, and this is organic. It's a OMRI listed. So, and I don't remember what OMRI is, but that's the organic label for that particular guy. And so we do use products like that. So we call it organic. However, we allow acid rain to touch it, and we water it with chlorine. Is it really organic? Well, I mean, you're getting into some of the areas of organic that are really a little bit more dicey. So we have like the Farms for Young Living. I believe it's a 25 or 35 years that if there has been a pesticide on that land, they will not use it. I can't remember exactly what the year is. Doesn't really matter. That's one level of organic. You can go as deep on the organic side as you want. On the GMO, non-GMO, the difference there is it a genetically modified organism? At the end of the day, is it a genetically modified organism? If you eat corn and it is not organic, which that stuff is a little bit more difficult to find because almost all corn is genetically modified, that's harder to find, and it's here's the deal with the GMO. You're going to have a lot of different opinions. You're going to have, there's literally been thousands and thousands of studies done on genetically modified products that prove that they are healthy, that they're safe to consume. Now, here's the challenge with those studies. When you look, and I haven't researched and read all thousands of studies. A lot of times, though, when you read into those studies, there are limitations within those studies. It's kind of like treating all diseases in the body with the same prescription. If you do a study and a corn GMO product is shown to not affect liver test levels, so that makes it safe. Or you do that same strain of corn and you show that it has no impact on the insulin. There's no long-term damage to the pancreas, or the insulin production does not change enough to be clinically significant. What do all these things mean? I mean, when you test something in a double-blind placebo-controlled study, or you're testing things in rats, you are looking for the nth degree of the nth degree. That doesn't mean that when you take that corn and you ingest it into your body, that the new starches that have been created in order to strengthen that piece of corn so that it is not susceptible to insects and things like that. What are the protein structure changes that have taken place? What are the starch changes that have taken place? How do those impact the microbiome inside the human body? Well, those things some of them we are testing in limited capacity, but it's the nth degree of the nth degree. Just because it doesn't affect maybe lactobacillus doesn't mean it's not impacting 50 other microorganisms in there. You literally have about 5 trillion different bacteria residing in your gut at any one time. And when we genetically modify organisms, we may not have the nth degree of the nth degree of the nth degree evidence that is causing damage, but what we do have is we have a lot of experiential knowledge that is showing it to us that it is causing damage to the human body. So that's your GMO, your non-GMO. So you can pick whichever party you want to be on. You can be a Republican or you can be a Democrat when it comes to GMO, non-GMO, and that's a decision that you are going to have to make. I encourage you, before you just blindly accept whatever is coming out on PBS or CNN or Fox News or the Google interwebs, that if you want to actually look at that study, get in there and figure out how to look at that study and figure out what it's talking about and actually make sure it's true, and don't just read the headlines like everybody's doing these days. It's crazy. It's bananas, quite frankly. So that's the GMO, non-GMO. So pick your poison, what you want to listen to, and how you want to do that. And if you want clarity on that, I am definitely more than willing to dive in a little bit deeper on that. On the organic side, again, you have to make that choice. What is it that's causing the problem? Even on the GMO, non-GMO side, these genetically modified organisms, what else are they doing with them? What pesticides are they using on them? What fertilizers are they using on them? What chemicals were in the soil that they have now inside that plant that they didn't even think to? Well, they may have thought about it, but it's a limitation of the study. They didn't even test for those things and how they might interact with the body. So, there's just a lot of factors. Like I said, maybe we don't have the nth degree of the data yet, but we have, like I said, that experiential knowledge that we're seeing in the community, in the health and wellness space, that is telling us that some of these things are just doing significant damage to the human body. And so while that may be anecdotal, you can't ignore all mountains of anecdotal data just because it's not a peer-reviewed and journal study. So when you're looking at these organic products and trying to decide, is this something that is going to benefit me or is this something that's going to hurt me, the big issue for Amy and I right now on the organic side are the pesticides in particular. What are they putting on there that is causing damage to the human body? And glyphosate is the big devil in the room right now. We're not huge fans of glyphosate. We think there's just enough experiential evidence out there that says that there's likely a problem with some of this. When you're working with a human being and you're trying to help somebody that has some real significant challenges in their life, and you put them on organic, usually you're making quite a few other changes as well. So it is hard to pin down exactly what it is that's creating the change in the person that you're working with. However, organic is a good place to start because at least you know what you're putting into the body. You don't necessarily know which piece of that is working, whether it was the sleep or the blue light or the exercise or the organic or the non-GMO. You're working with a lot of different parts and pieces, and you don't know exactly which one's working. What we do know is that when we work with a client and we have them that has certain types of issues and we shift them to a organic diet, we see improvement. And I will take improvement and health improvement and a better life for somebody and call it organic and be happier with that than I would be to leave them on a genetically modified diet that's non-organic and watch them suffer for the rest of their life. That's just not okay. And so if you want to, again, this is a polarizing topic for a lot of people. I get it. And organic can be a bit more expensive. You have to go in there and you really have to look for stuff and find the deals and go to the right. You can't go to Whole Foods to buy all your organic unless that's in your budget. If that's in your budget, woohoo! It's not in our budget. We like Kroger, and so we figure out how to manipulate the system to get these organic and non-GMO products from the Kroger system, and we've done so at a fraction of the cost of what unless we made that choice to go to Whole Foods. And so we've found things like Azure, which is a great company. We buy our grains there, we buy our sugars and our salts and all these things that we have in our arsenal now, and we can get them at a really killer rate. I mean, it's really a great deal. So
yeah, and this is what he's talking about. This is a company called Azure Standard, and AzureStandard.com. And they're up in the Northwest U.S., and they ship all over the U.S., but they also do drops. And so once a month, they do a drop here in small town Benton, Arkansas, and they do drops all over so that I don't have to pay huge shipping cost. But they have a truck that, there may be 15 or 20 families who have ordered that month, and they come to pick their food up at the drop. And so that's a way that we have found to get some organic products, and even products that are very difficult to find at a discounted rate.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. So that's a lot on the more technical side of the organic, non-organic, GMO, non-GMO. And like I said, if there was something that wasn't clear, or you have some comments you want to drop in here, please do, so that we can discuss them and we can just kind of see what we can do to help either bring me up to speed or bring you up to speed on what's going to be healthiest and best for the human body. So, because we're here to help, we're here to serve. We want to see everyone live a healthier life and to live that long-term plan that God's laid out for us, and He just really desires that we live a healthy life. So
that's right. And I'll just say, I feel like the closer we can get back to eating the things in the ways that God created it, the healthier it's going to be. So God didn't spray chemicals on everything, and so
we're pretty sure.
If we can get back closer to how He designed it, it's going to be healthier for us.
It's going to be better. More likely, it's going to work with the human body than we have now. So, any questions, you let us know. We'd be glad to help. Answer them for you. Amy will put our website link in there, and you can always contact us through that if you don't want to get on here and drop a comment on Facebook or anything like that. And we're always just one messenger button click away. So anyway, I hope this helps. I hope it clarified a little bit of things. If not, let me know so I can make it simpler next time.